Now at 6 and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, the mayor of Beeville arrested and indicted. What we know this evening.
2 Victoria County residents were arrested and are now suspects in Goliad County.
And a father is filing a lawsuit against a Hindu temple after a religious ceremony branded his son without his consent.
Absolutely beautiful conditions today. Sunny skies. Temperatures currently in the low 80s. Humidity quite low, but clouds be increasing and rain chances as well. Plus, we'll talk about your eclipse day forecast coming up.
And your athlete of the week just brought Victoria West a state championship. I'll have all that coming up in sports.
You're watching 25 News now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker.
And I'm Karina Garcia. We begin in Beeville, where questions surrounding the indictment and arrest of Mayor Brian Watson continue. The city of Beeville released a statement saying they lack details regarding the indictment and are allowing Mayor Watson the necessary time and privacy to address this personal matter. He is indicted on charges of misuse of official information. The 34-year-old Watson from Beeville was recently named Chief Public Defender for the 4-county district, which includes not only Victoria County, but Lavaca, Jackson, and Refugio counties. County Judge Ben Zeller says the oversight board of the Crossroads Regional Public Defender Officer will meet next week to discuss this latest development.
2 suspects from Victoria County were arrested in Goliad County Wednesday night. Both suspects were in the same vehicle that was stopped on FM 2441. Neither suspect had a valid driver's license. Drugs were found on 38-year-old Connie Caesar. She faces 6 charges, 5 of those drug possession charges. Caesar is in the Goliad County Jail in lieu of $39,000 bond. 38-year-old Miguel Aguirre was charged with operating a motor vehicle with an invalid license with previous convictions. Aguirre faces another charge and posted bond.
An 18-wheeler overturned on U.S. Highway 59 in Wharton County this morning. It overturned on U.S. 59 northbound just south of the First Louise exit. This happened again south of Louise. U.S. 59 northbound was closed for hours. No injuries were reported in that crash.
A new endorsement for one of the GOP candidates in the State Representative District 30 runoff. Former Jackson County Sheriff A.J. Louderback was endorsed by Vanessa Hicks Calloway. She ran unsuccessfully in the GOP primary for that seat in March. Louderback said in a statement that Hicks Calloway, quote, ran a tough, principled campaign and is a fierce warrior for our Republican values, unquote. Louderback will face former Victoria Mayor Jeff Bucknight in the runoff May 28th.
And now let's take a look at your forecast with meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, we love to have you here on the 6th.
Yeah, glad to come around and give a little visit from time to time, do some weather. Certainly honored to do that. It was beautiful conditions today. I tell you what, absolutely nice sunny conditions. A little humidity, felt nice, but things will be changing in time. Temperatures currently near 80 degrees, some 70s along the coast. 85 degrees in Victoria and points to north, 83, 84, 85. And we'll continue to see warm conditions again tomorrow. But changes coming up this weekend include some rainfall, more clouds, and maybe having a pretty good impact on Eclipse Day on Monday. We'll give you the details a little bit later on coming up.
Trey, thank you. It was a shock to a Houston area father when he says his 11-year-old son came home from a religious ceremony branded.
That father is now suing for over $1 million in damages.
BJ Chiravu shares his reaction to the brands his 11-year-old son received.
I was shocked. I did not know how to handle it. I mean, my primary concern is for my son's well-being.
According to the lawsuit, a cultural event was being hosted at this Hindu temple off of Sinat Road in August. Attorneys claim Vijay's son, identified as TC, was branded on both of his shoulders with a hot iron rod during the ceremony without the father's consent.
This is not a ceremony that is widely used across Hinduism. This is something that's a very small sect.
Attorney Brant Stogner says TC was left with burns and an infection. They are suing the temple and its parent company, claiming underage children or parents cannot give consent for branding.
Even if TC wanted these, he could not get it.
TC wrote an impact statement shown here as part of the lawsuit. Attorneys read a portion of that statement.
Said, I had no idea this was going to happen. I feel betrayed. They did it again on my other shoulder.
The law firm is seeking over $1 million in damages. I spoke with Temple staff late this afternoon, and they tell me they do not want to comment right now. Meanwhile, this parent tells me he is trying to help his son recover.
He goes to see therapists. He's so deeply scarred, mentally scarred, emotionally scarred, betrayed, etc. The pain is another side of it.
Attorneys say the 11-year-old was among nearly 100 people, including 3 minors, who took part in the August 2023 ceremony. Now, a NASA employee faces 6 different sexual assault charges, and authorities believe there may be more victims. A top prosecutor in Houston put out an international call for potential victims of a NASA engineer who is being called a suspected serial rapist. Investigators say 37-year-old Eric Sims reported crime stretched to Japan, Canada, the UK, and possibly beyond. He's facing 6 counts of sexual assault, and based on his patterns and behaviors in those cases, prosecutors say there are other potential survivors who they hope will come forward.
A Texas National Guard member was arrested charged with human smuggling. DPS reports 26-year-old Savion Johnson is accused of leading law enforcement on a high-speed chase near the Texas-Mexico border Sunday. DPS said Johnson was on active duty at the time with Operation Lone Star. DPS charged Johnson with evading arrest, smuggling of persons, and unlawful carry of a weapon. The investigation is ongoing. DPS confirms the arrests of over 200 migrants on state rioting charges. 214 migrants were arrested for the March 21st incident near Gate 36 in El Paso. The group was in federal custody and was rebooked on state misdemeanor rioting charges. 9 of those migrants face felony rioting charges. The migrants arrested come from Venezuela, Guatemala, Ecuador, Colombia, Cuba, Nicaragua, Honduras, and El Salvador.
A federal judge ruled the government needs to move migrant children from open area desert camps to, quote, safe and sanitary facilities, unquote. Thousands of asylum seekers are living in makeshift camps in remote sections of California's desert. Attorneys argue immigration officials directed them there and then failed to provide adequate food, water, and shelter. The Biden administration says the children there aren't actually in federal custody because they haven't been arrested by Border Patrol. However, the judge ruled Border Patrol assumes authority over the migrants since agents regularly patrol the camps. An Atlanta area judge rejected former President Donald Trump's attempt to get his Georgia election interference case dismissed. The judge rejected the argument that Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election were protected under the First Amendment. The judge says Trump's false election claims are not protected because they allege to have furthered criminal activity. A trial date has not been set. Also on Thursday, the federal judge in Trump's classified documents case denied the motion to dismiss those charges.
Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can see Crossroads Today on YouTube. Awesome. Stay with us. The Colorado State University forecasters released their hurricane predictions. Coming up on 25 News now at 6, how this could impact you.
Also ahead, the CDC reports on the threat to humans of the bird flu virus. Bird flu is affecting a growing number of cattle herds in the U.S. The CDC says while there is no major threat to humans or a massive spread of the bird flu virus, the agency wants more people to get tested for it. Those who should get tested are anyone who's been exposed and has symptoms. A person in Texas who tested positive last week for bird flu worked on a farm and had direct contact with a dairy cow. Federal health officials say raw milk can pose a serious health risk to those who drink it. The University of Texas Austin is laying off as many as 60 employees. UT Austin eliminated staff positions previously focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion in the latest effort to comply with Senate Bill 17, known as the Anti-DEI Law. The bill bans Texas public universities from having DEI programs and trainings. The university also shut down a DEI program called Monarch, a program that offers scholarships to undocumented students. So here is your viewer poll. You can scan that QR code right there on your screen to vote. The question is, do you support the DEI ban at public universities in Texas? Yes or no? According to our results, it looks like 67% stand at yes, and the remaining 33% stand at no. Thank you for voting. We want to keep on hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part, and we're going to have an update on 25 News Now at 10.
The Air Force and Space Force are offering incentive pay for service members stationed in extremely cold areas, such as Alaska. The Cold Weather Assignment Incentive Pay Program is available to airmen and guards at 3 locations in Alaska, 3 in North Dakota, and 1 in Montana. It's a one-time lump sum payment up to $4,000. It's meant to offset the cost of things like extreme cold weather gear and snow tires. The first incentive pay date is July 1st, when of course it's not cold. But the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season is shaping up to be one for the record books. Forecasters from Colorado State University issued their annual outlook on Thursday.
Yeah, and it's full of more hurricanes and named storms than any preseason forecast they've ever released before.
Our boardwalk is nearly 100% completed. Our town in general is looking beautiful.
100% complete, a great number for Seaside Heights, New Jersey. This was last fall. More than 10 years after Hurricane Sandy decimated huge portions of the northeastern U.S. coast, causing nearly $82 billion in damage.
It took me about 3 years to rebuild my house.
But now, homeowners and businesses like this by the millions along the eastern seaboard could be staring down a potentially monstrous hurricane season this summer. Colorado State University's annual hurricane season forecast for 2024 predicts 23 named storms in all. 11 of those, they estimate, could become hurricanes, with possibly 5 of those clocking in as Category 3 or higher, considered major. To put it in perspective, the average Atlantic hurricane season brings 14 named storms, with 7 becoming hurricanes, 3 of them major. NOAA's Climate Prediction Center points to the natural atmospheric condition of La Nina possibly being in play this year, putting it at a 55 to 77% chance between June and November. If so, meteorologists say La Nina will push the jet stream further north, decreasing wind shear, which ripens conditions for more storms to form. This, coupled with warming ocean waters, opens a path that takes aim at the eastern U.S. Colorado State will release updates to their hurricane season forecast in June, July, and August. I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
31 Texas parks are in the path of totality for next Monday's solar eclipse. Only 3 of those parks are not sold out. Atlanta, Cedar Hill, and Tyler State Park still have room for eclipse watchers. TxDOT is warning drivers to take extra caution on major roadways as the solar eclipse gets closer. TxDOT is asking that drivers pull into a safe location to watch the eclipse. Do not stop on the roadway or park on the shoulder to view it. Now about that eclipse weather, Trey.
Well, I wish I could say it's going to be nice and sunny for Eclipse Day, but it looks like clouds will be part of the forecast area for much of the state of Texas for that. 85 degrees was the daytime high today, low 47 degrees. Nice cool start, warm during the day, and that's going to continue for your day tomorrow. What about your weekend and Eclipse Day? We'll take a look coming up. Good evening, everyone. Meteorologist Trey Minor here. It's a gorgeous day today. Beautiful conditions, warm temperatures. Definitely still have that. And a little bit of sea breeze down along the coast, keeping those folks from Palacios to Port O'Connor, Sea Drift in the 70s. 80s or so from Victoria northward. We'll repeat this same scenario for your day tomorrow. So looking for another great sunny day anticipated for us. High pressure dominates the whole state today. If the eclipse was today, everything would be absolutely perfect because we had hardly a cloud in the sky throughout the entire state, thanks to the high pressure cell. But then moving to the east, allowing southerly wind flow to return off the Gulf of Mexico, increasing humidity and increasing rain chances and clouds coming up in the, well, few days down the line actually. High pressure dominates the weather here like I've been saying, and we'll continue to dominate our weather for your Friday. Notice by Friday evening into your Saturday, clouds increasing again, west to east, some tropical jet flow off the area south of Mexico will bring that into our region, and developing storm out west will get closer to us coming up by your Sunday and your Monday. Will move a front through here, but it won't be pushing offshore like we normally see, be hanging up across the southern parts of the state of Texas, and unfortunately that'll keep the rain chances in and also the cloud cover in. Let's run this through your day on Sunday. Rain chances still for us, and moving into eclipse day on Monday, see the clouds still continue throughout the entire forecast area in much of the state of Texas through your day on Monday in the afternoon by 4 o'clock. We'll see some rain chances by then. So, well, we're taking our chances, and most likely it looks like there'll be cloudy skies on that day. We'll keep tabs on that for you, of course. High temperatures for the next several days, well into the 80s, low to mid 80s, so definitely feeling nice and warm on the outside. Future tracker, keeping it on the clear side. Clear skies tonight will be important for allowing those temperatures to fall back into the 50s early morning hours tomorrow with the low humidity in place and the sunny conditions. And we'll keep the sun in for your Friday, looking nice for your Friday, of course. But later in the day, here comes the high clouds moving in west to east, causing our weekend to be pretty much overcast and having rain chances developing by the end of the weekend into your day on Monday. Victoria coming up, 9 a.m., 65 degrees. Sunny skies all day long for your Friday, I should say. With 84, 85 degrees by 3 o'clock will be the daytime high. Southerly winds a little gusty, 10 to 15 miles per hour. And for Port Lavaca, a little bit of a sea breeze down along the coast, keeping those folks probably more than likely in the low 80s with sunny skies all day long, a few high clouds from time to time, with winds 10 to 15 miles per hour and a little bit on the gusty side. Cuero, how's it looking there? Looking pretty nice on the cool side to start off, 9 a.m., 63 degrees, 84 or so by 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Sunny conditions all day long. Going to be a fabulous Friday, and no doubt about it. And then the clouds decreasing, as I told you, on Saturday and Sunday with rain chance as well. Eclipse day on Monday, well, looks like it'll be mostly cloudy skies. Maybe there's some breaks in the cloud cover for some folks, lucky folks, to get a glimpse of the eclipse. Overall, looks like it'll be mostly on the cloudy side. Rain chances for a majority next week, 30 to 40% chances. Highs in the 80s all week long coming up next 7 days. Lows starting off tomorrow morning be in the 50s. Humidity returns that cause the low pressure, that causes the low temperatures rather to increase. 60 near 70 degrees coming up by the rest of the time period into your Wednesday and Thursday. So enjoy your day tomorrow because it's looking very nice on the outside. Take a look at this right here. This is the QR code. Get your smartphone, scan the code you see right there. They'll take you to a web page. You can download our app. News, weather, and sports at your fingertips. Very easy, convenient, and free of charge. Stay connected with us. Karina?
Thank you, Trey. And now here's Zach Brown with your sports.
Your athlete of the week just brought Victoria West a state championship. I'll have that in sports. Your athlete of the week just brought Victoria West a state title, and he's only a sophomore. Brody Flores is not the biggest, but the amount that he lifts is pretty astounding. Brody Flores just brought Victoria West a state championship, finishing first in his weight class at the state powerlifting meets.
It was really exciting. I wasn't really expecting it, but I knew that if I was going to get there, I had to put in a lot of effort and trusted my coaches and myself.
Effort seems to be the theme with Brody as he competes in almost all sports and grinds day in and day out. And head coach Zach Mueller says him giving 100% in whatever he does makes him such a great athlete.
He knows how to manage his time. You know, he plays 4 or 5 sports, did it last year as well. And with that, he works hard. When he's, in powerlifting, his full effort and full attention is at powerlifting.
Brody may not be the biggest, but he is going to play a huge role for the Warriors going forward as they try and reach the top, and Mueller is excited for what's to come for the program.
He weighs like 6 pounds lighter than anyone else, so even next year in senior year, he's probably going to be in the same weight class. So you can definitely see his number to go up.
I'm very excited for me and the team, because we are having a lot of good incoming freshmen and a lot of people coming back that have a really good shot in placing in state.
Brody Flores lifted a total of 1,080 pounds and set some records in the weight class along the way, and as just a sophomore already making Warrior Nation proud by bringing back some hardware, making him your athlete of the week. Now on that same campus, the West baseball team looking to bounce back after a tough one last night. Now the loss was tough, not just because of the rivalry, but the Warriors currently on the outside looking in for a postseason spot. And head coach Jay Perez says his guys are always motivated to do well, but they do recognize how big of a game tomorrow night is.
Oh, for sure. We are focused on this one. It's the next one in front of us, and it's a big one because of that, and it does have playoff intentions behind it. And so, yeah, we're dialed in, we're ready to roll, and we know what we got to do on Friday. Just keeping it clean, playing airtight defense, and taking the opportunities that are in front of us. Just making sure that we limit mistakes, if any, and, hopefully we come out on top, the ball rolls our way.
Now the Houston Astros took out some frustrations last night, pounding the baseball all over Minute Maid Park. And the Astros cranked out 4 homers, 2 of them off the bat of Yordan Alvarez, who was off to a slow start. This is likely was going to get him going. Jeremy Pena went yard as well, maybe solving his power issues at the plate. And Altuve went deep for the Stros to cap off the day. Astros pitching was great once again, shutting out the Jays 8-0, allowing just 1 hit. The Stros now 2-5 on the young season. That's it for your sports. Donna Karina, back to you.
Thanks, Zach. We're back in a moment. It comes later than usual this year, but the cherry blossoms in Tokyo finally reached full bloom.
And finally tonight, the cherry blossoms in Tokyo finally reached full bloom. Much later than usual this year, the blossoms reached full bloom 13 days later than they usually do. The cherry blossoms mean a lot in Japanese culture, symbolizing renewal and the fleeting beauty of life, and provide a sense of tranquility and harmony. The weather will be excellent for the traditional viewing of cherry blossoms in eastern Japan over the next few days. Now, somebody who's much smarter than me, which is most of the planet, could probably tell me why, or if there are any cherry blossoms in the Crossroads, and if not, why they couldn't grow here. I don't know.
Well, I'm sure they could grow there.
Really?
I know up there in where those cherry blossoms are in that part of the world, it's a little bit further north, so maybe a little bit cooler.
Right.
But everything grows here pretty much equally fine, pretty much.
Okay, well, look for those cherry blossoms. But
Exactly.
now, do we have good weather for looking for cherry blossoms or bluebonnets? Or?
We do, especially tomorrow. Like today, beautiful sunny skies to continue. High temperatures in the 80s. That'll continue for Saturday. Increasing cloud cover, though. For Sunday and Monday, well, looks like the cloudy skies will continue. Rain chance on Monday, so the viewing of the eclipse may be kind of in jeopardy there. Maybe some breaks in the clouds for some lucky folks. Rain chances for the majority next week, though, with highs in the 80s.
All right, thank you, Trey, and thanks for joining us.
We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 10.